Morning, girls. How we doing? We're back here again with Peetz in my mind. James. I guess this is technically we're back with because I did do like a video on him ages ago around about the time of the BBJ situation, where his opinion of the BBJ situation was it was everyone else's fault but his, because of course it was also obviously it wasn't Shantel's fault either because he really wants to die by her sitting on his face again. So I guess he just has to stand up for her too. He is like such a pathetic dude. Like, he's so pathetic, it's not even, like, funny, like, at all. Like, he genuinely is, like, the lowest of the low. Like, you just look at him and go, like, bro, well, why are you on this earth? I know that sounds really dark, but it is one of those ones you just look at and go, like, okay, you're here. You've been given this amazing opportunity. Maybe you're religious and think it's a gift from a god. Maybe you're not and you just think, oh, everything aligned perfectly, and here you are. What are you going to do with your time here? And it's like, nothing. Literally nothing. He literally just sits in this room with one jacket hung up in his cupboard in the back, which I'm obsessed with, and reads fan fictions about lesbian teenage girls kissing. That's pretty much it, and that's not even exaggeration. He used to do book reviews, and all of them are young adult lesbian books. I guess we're going to get into it. It's probably going to be a quick one. Let's go.
I'm not really looking for a woman in general. Like, I'm not really looking for anyone in general, Big Dick Daddy, right now. Like, I'm not really...
Big Dick Daddy. Why did you have to read out the name? That just made it seem even weirder. He did a video ages ago, and I was like tempted to go, because I covered it once before, and I was tempted to cover it again because it is just like a silly video, which is him saying what he wants in a woman. And you might as well have just like said alive. I think it was like 20 minutes long. He might as well have just said alive. You know, like King Cobra JFS lists off like alive, off age, you know, human, female. It might as well have just been that.
I am not Christian, so why the hell would I go to mass?
I don't know, why would you mention hell if you're not Christian? Because hell is a Christian thing, obviously. Maybe because your family wanted you to. Maybe because your friends wanted you to. Obviously, neither of those really apply to him because he doesn't do anything anyone wants him to. Because his mom probably wants him to get a life and be successful. And he's just like, nah, I'm good. Have you seen my plushy anime girl sitting in the background there? Yeah, I think I'm living the big life right now. I'm immediately looking around my room. I was like, good. I actually don't have any plushy anime characters. I've only got plushy Hololive mascots. Slight step up, I feel. And also, he obviously doesn't have friends. So who's there to invite him out literally anywhere? The reason why he doesn't want like a girlfriend or isn't looking for a girlfriend, quote unquote, is because he is telling the truth. He is not looking for a girlfriend. He wants to be the anime protagonist. He wants to like walk out and to head down to the local comic book store or something like that. He's reaching for a comic book, and then the super hot ditzy bimbo girl with big massive tits also reaches for the same comic book, and she's like, oh, eto blah, and accidentally falls on top of him, and her tits land on his face, and then they get married. That is more or less what Peetz wants his existence to be. It has to be as little effort as possible for him for the most gain.
I'm going to go over to see my mom. I'm going to spend Christmas Day with my mom. I'm very finicky. My mom does usually make some brownies. I'm very finicky when it comes to food, so mom will pick up like a pie, but I don't like pie.
Maybe you should bring something then. Maybe you could cook something out. Oh wait, you refuse to use your kitchen. I mentioned one other thing. He refuses to use the kitchen in this house because I think it would mean he might have to interact with like the old ladies he lives with. So he pretty much only makes like things you can make in like an air fryer or something because he has like a rice cooker in his bedroom, and he goes and prepares the rice in his bathroom sink and then just goes and puts it in the air fryer so he doesn't have to like leave his room. So of course he can't bring something, unless he just brings a lot of the fucking bathroom rice, I guess. Merry Christmas, eat some bathroom rice. Because like, okay, your mom bought a pie and you didn't like that. Like, it's such a big fucking slight to you personally. Why don't you bring something then?
I feel like those people should just fuck off.
So what do you think of Gorlworld thinking Chan's in court?
Like, they're desperate for content.
Clearly.
Like, they're just so goddamn desperate to have something to talk about.
Bro, I specifically in one of my recaps, and it probably happens every single stream, he did a 2-hour long live stream. I think he was like 10 minutes into it maybe, and he did just stop and go like, I don't have anything to talk about. And then he just blankly stared at the screen for probably at least 45 seconds, and then said, you guys have to say stuff for me to talk about. Because he just has nothing. Because he has nothing going on in his life. He's hardly going to talk about this interesting experience he had that today or a fun thing that he did. And it's fine. You don't always have to do that online. I rarely talk about my personal life online. However, I am not a daily streamer who streams like 2 to 3 hours every single day like Peetz is currently doing. I don't need to do that. I don't want to do that. It sounds like the antithesis of fun for me, honestly. But for Pete, he actually does that. And you're just sitting going, like, why are you streaming every day if you don't have things to talk about or ways to engage with your audience? But they're desperate.
Nothing interesting of their own to talk about.
Bro!
Yeah, they have no interesting ideas of their own, no unique thoughts of their own.
This guy's the guy who literally verbatim will just say shit he heard on Twitter, and if anyone pushes back against any of his ideas, he'll go, I don't know. I actually haven't read the study yet, but I heard that from the person. That is him. He has no original thoughts whatsoever. But the evil reaction channels, they have no thoughts because they make fun of Shantel every once in a while. Oh, those reaction channels who do like a 20-minute long video per day. Oh, they're obsessed. They're so desperate for her content. Bro, you do realize that like the day is like 24 hours long. A 20-minute video, it's not taking up a lot of time.
Should I try the corn vlog?
Yeah, you should have done a Children of the Corn vlog. Okay, just asking boo. These people are so weird because it's all like women. It is all like women. And I always for ages thought this is just like trolls. These are just trolls catfishing him. They're doing the long game or something like that. But then people came and said, no, these are like actual women. They're just like really, really pathetic women who like have nothing going for them. And I guess they want to like be Peetz's mom and like fix him. You know, like guys usually have this, but it's in the opposite. It's usually for like a girl who's crazy and dangerous and will cut your dick off in your sleep. And guys are like, I can fix her. Yeah. But I guess it's the opposite for like Peetz, where it's like, this is like a guy who's literally pathetic and will like be cry and shit himself when he's sleeping beside you. And you're like, oh yeah, I can fix him.
So they just make shit up and they should take while Shantel's on a break from YouTube,
oh, I can wait.
They should take all those reactors should take this opportunity to do something more constructive with their time, with their channels.
I maybe reaction channels shouldn't take advice from Peetz. Quit his job like 3 days before Christmas, apparently missing out on a $400 bonus because he desperately needed to quit literally that second. The second suspiciously Shantel disappeared from YouTube. I don't know, guys. It's very suspicious and very weird timing. Maybe we shouldn't take advice from you when your idea of what to do in your like break time when you get to sit there and relax and have a good time is to do nothing with your life. Is to literally sit there in that room 24/7. Maybe film a couple hours of like a live stream where it's just you sitting there like a fucking pillow. Maybe you should pull out, I don't know, Final Fantasy and play like an hour of it. And then that's it. I don't know what he does with like the rest of his time. It must be just like sitting there vegetating. Like, he might even be seal positioned at this point.
Take this opportunity to do something more constructive with their channels.
Dude literally can't even hold down a job. He can't even hold down a job. He had to quit because he didn't like it and he was like, oh, but it was stressful. Everyone's job is stressful, bro. Like, just because you didn't like it and couldn't deal with it, it doesn't suddenly mean it was actually a really difficult job to do telephone, apparently working from home, customer service. I don't know, maybe you should do so. Maybe in this like off time, maybe in this month where you're not doing anything, you should be like learning a skill or something like that would make you better for your next job.
You made another video about me? Why bother? It's gonna be in every reaction video tomorrow. Because they gotta have something. They gotta have something to talk about.
Yep.
Take a break and enjoy the holidays with me.
You're literally talking about them right now. I don't think you can do that. I don't think you can talk about them. And when someone says, well, they're going to talk about you, it's like, oh, yeah, because you're desperate. It's like, you're talking at the... It's like if someone swings at you and you swing back. It's like, oh, why are you hitting me? It's like, you swung at me.
Family. I mean, let's not get crazy here. I don't know. Maybe their families hate them. I don't know.
Bro, you literally have no one. If that's all I feel, you literally have no one. Apparently your mom talked you into quitting your job. That's what he claimed. And like I think popped up earlier on, Foodie is most likely his mom in this situation. I don't know what mother would talk her like 40-year-old son and go like, oh, you want to quit your job because you don't like it and stress? Okay, well, that's what you should do. Don't look for another job first so you can quit, maybe take like a week between them and then already have a new job set up. Because sometimes you could take months and months and months and months to get a new job. No, honey, quit your job. Don't even hand in notice. It's absolutely fine. It's not like you need them for a reference or anything. Just quit. If your mom actually saying that stuff to you, your mom is so stupid that maybe she should hit you. Maybe she should hit you, and your life might actually improve.
She's not. Shantel is where she says she is.
You're a f***ing liar.
Ow! Why would you say it like that? Shantel is where she says she is. Shantel hasn't said where she is. That's it. Shantel hasn't spoken. She's on a social media break. Do you remember that, Peetz? So Shantel actually hasn't said where she is. so for all we know, she could be in Canada. It's I don't know. It's about his brand of autism where he finds it really awkward to lie. So he isn't really lying. He's just saying Shantel is where she is claiming she is. Instead of just going, no, Chantel's in Q8, which would be the straightforward way of saying that with a lot less words. It's just like she is where she is saying that she is currently, and then look awkward.
She hasn't asked for any. She hasn't asked me for any, so
she has.
It's fine.
Has she not asked you for any money, or has she? Because there's a big difference between saying, "I'm really struggling right now. Me and fucking Salah, we had a fight. Oh my god, I'm just so scared. Someone came around to sue me. You know, one of those crazy evil reaction channels. They came around to sue me, Peetz. I'm so scared. I can't even afford a flight home." Does he consider that asking for money when she's like clearly begging for her to for Peetz to pay for a flight home for her? Or does he only think asking for money is that you going like, can I have $100, please?
Hey, Rebecca. Shantel is where she says she is.
He even says it again like that.
Also, if they're trying to do phishing scams, let's just do. That would be a deeply thing for somebody to do.
Yeah, I don't even disagree with that. Now, it might be an unpopular opinion. However, I do love me an unpopular opinion. I think it's weird. I think it's just weird, guys. Like, I don't know. I don't care enough to care where Shantel is. So if she's in Q8, fine. If she's in fucking Canada, fine. If she was in Northern Ireland, like waiting outside my fucking front door, a little less fine. But I still think I'd probably not care in the long run. But like, I don't know, the whole phishing thing. Like, also, obviously, like Shantel is not totally to blame. She is stupid when she tries to make her life a guessing game by trying to flex people not knowing things about her. Always a bad idea, because then people will obviously try and find out things, because people don't like you trying to flex shit over them online. Also just stupid. She has been doing this for years, claims she's like a high-ranking social media influencer, does not know to not click random links that you get. Just randomly sent to you via email, especially from an untrusted source you've never got an email from before. So obviously stupid. However, I also do find it weird that someone decided to send something to try an IP tracer. That's weird.
That's it. She hasn't told me that she's anywhere.
Yeah, they sent her an email that tracked her IP to Cornwall. Everyone knows to avoid phishing. It's not like it's unique. She fell for a scam designed for 80-year-olds. Wow! Captain Rebecca.
Special. A deeply thing for somebody to do. That's it. She hasn't told me that she's anywhere special. Again, like I said,
that
weird. Would be incredibly for someone to do.
It would be. That's incredibly weird though that you said it like that. She hasn't told me she's anywhere special. Is Canada special? It's so the wording he's using is so deliberate to avoid saying directly she is currently still in Q8. If you just said she is currently still in Q8, that's like definitive. That is you saying exactly where she is and what is happening. Going, oh, she is where she is saying that she is currently. She is not somewhere special. It's like, would that literally mean anything?
Other than to prove what a shitty human being you are, trying to fucking that's fucking stalker bullshit. Like,
so you celebrate people dying and call for mass executions. I'm not gonna take I'm not gonna take criticism on morality by Peetz though. I'm just saying.
Trying to track somebody's IP? That's some fucking stalker bullshit. You got a life. She wanted a break from YouTube. Better have a fucking break from YouTube.
How is that stopping her from having a break from YouTube? Someone finding out she's in Canada does not stop her having a break from YouTube. Like I said, the IP thing I personally don't agree with. But let's imagine it wasn't that. It wasn't like a kind of controversial thing. Imagine it was like someone was driving down the street and saw her waddle past, drive past, whatever the fuck it was, and went, oh my god, I just saw Shantel, she is back in Canada. Like, that's not invasive or stalking or anything like that. It's just direct. So, like, is there a difference there? Is it suddenly, like, okay, now that we have this information this way as opposed to this way, does it suddenly mean she isn't on a break anymore if people suddenly know where she is? It's just not. That's not how that works.
Why is that so fucking impossible for some people? She said she's going to take a break from YouTube.
Okay.
And these people are like, no, you're not allowed. You're not fucking...
No, but she is. She is currently on a break. someone finding out she's in Canada does not change her being on a break.
You're allowed to do your own thing. You're not fucking allowed to have your own goddamn life.
What are you talking
Mom
about?
checks your email? Yeah, I don't know. I know it's the internet and
That's just stupid. Why would you think that? Why would anyone think that? Oh yeah, was just her mom logging into her email account. What?
Parasocial shit and all that, but
Stop it.
people are entitled to privacy.
Yeah, obviously they are. Did anyone say that they're not? What? We went from like, you somehow have now stopped her from being on a YouTube break by knowing where she is, to now she isn't allowed privacy. Which, like I said, I already think the IP thing is weird. However, would it be different if someone just saw her like walking down the streets of Canada? Would that somehow make it like vastly different for him? Or would that be like, oh, well, okay, well, you found it that way, that's absolutely fine. It wouldn't, because he would still just think this is stalker weird behavior, just someone happening to see her on the street. Peetz talking about Parasocial is bizarre to me. People know my opinion on Parasocial. Shantel is a huge proponent of Parasocial like relationships. So much so she has songs for certain beezers when they donate enough to her because they're so cool and she loves them so much. Teehee, hoping that they'll donate more because she's trying to make a parasocial relationship with them. Her saying that she needs to come on and talk to her beezers during stressful moments because they're her support network. That is very parasocial. Even Peetz literally doing that. Peetz is just sitting here in one position. He literally just comes in, works his way into a slouch on this chair, and sits in exactly the same position for 2 hours straight, desperately hoping people will come in and talk to him. It's very parasocial because he's not a traditional YouTuber. He's not providing anything in return. Usually for a YouTuber, if they're sitting here doing this, maybe they'd be playing a video game. Maybe they'd be talking about like hacks or something interesting you could do with your life, or like gymming or something like that. They would be telling you about their life and maybe like a vlog kind of style. So you're like, wow, this is really interesting. Oh, that person's talking about they did this type of decoration. Maybe I could learn from that. Maybe next year I'll do that type of decoration. Peetz doesn't that. He sits there and waits for people to come and talk to him because he's sad and lonely. So when he complains about parasocial relationships, try to remember, he loves parasocial relationships when it benefits him.
She said she wants to take a break from YouTube. She's let her and move on. Talk about something different.
She's still on a break. Why does her taking a break from YouTube mean everyone else has to take a break from her? That doesn't make any sense.
The next month.
You're stupid.
How long she's taking.
Next month, or however long she's taking. I'm assuming it's one of those ones where she has to leave. You know, like Thailand. She always goes to Thailand instead of Canada because she had to do like every like year. I think it was at least one 30-day break. And I heard there's been a change with how e-visas work, so I'm not sure. Maybe she has to go to Canada this time for 30 days, and as such, that's why he keeps saying 1 month and then keep going, for however long it is.
The next month or 3 months or however long she decides to take a break from YouTube. You know, like, just fucking talk about something else.
Why?
There's an infinite number of topics out there. Pick another fucking topic, dudes.
Basically, every single one of his live streams involves him talking about the same, like, 1 or 2 political things over and over and over again in, like, totally ill-informed, like, ranting kind of style. That's why a lot of people got interested in him to start with, because he would just go off. He's, like, a lot better now, but I think it's also because a lot of trolls just give up on him because they realize it's like, oh my, this is literally the same rage. We've watched the same rage, like, 20 times from him, because he always says the same points, gets argued against in the same way, and then we'll like have like a massive like bitch fit in exactly the same way, so people just kind of lost interest in him. He doesn't have anything to talk about. His every single thing he's talked about is wanting to work in a library. That's it. This is it.
Not gonna give her money, and there's absolutely no plan of moving to go. She is still in Kuwait. She's still happy in Kuwait.
Stop the cap.
I know Shantel did get.
I think she probably is like probably not intending to move in with her because with move in with Peetz, because like Peetz is like just a total fucking loser. I just do not think she'd be at all interested in moving in with Peetz if she could avoid it, because Peetz is like a buzzkill even for her. Like Peetz is like so much more worse off than she had been even when Chantel been living with him previously, because he is just such a fucking downer. So I wouldn't live with him. I don't think anyone would really choose to live with him. And Peetz knows that he pays very little for this apartment right now, and he can just sit there and hoard as much savings as he possibly can so he can, I don't know, buy some comic books. It's not like he has any plans in the future of like, I can't wait to have my own house, because he just doesn't think that's possible.
Get in trouble once. She got written up on BuzzFeed for eating cheese while talking about was it Heaven's Gate? For some reason people thought it was insensitive for her to be
For some reason people thought it was insensitive. Peetz is like the softest skinned person in the entire world. And if you say anything that mildly disagrees with him, he will have like a full meltdown. Like someone in his chat that when he announced that he had quit his job said, "Do you really think this is a good idea?" He lost his fucking shit. Like genuine full meltdown for like minutes because someone dared question him. That is how thin-skinned he is. But then when he's talking about like a mass suicide, he's just like, for some reason people thought that was insensitive. Like what? Even though just ignoring all the context that it wasn't just because she was eating cheese, he makes it sound like people are upset that she's eating cheese. Like cheese was the murder weapon or something like that. It was for like everything around it. I also love that in Peetz's head, like Shantel got in trouble once. She's been in trouble like once. And the only reason he cares about that is because it was BuzzFeed that wrote her up. And the only reason he cares about that specifically is because BuzzFeed is probably what he read, because BuzzFeed was like a very hyper lefty like internet article site that he was probably interested in. So he probably cares about that because it's something he actually cares about criticizing Shantel. Not everyone else criticizing all of the awful shit she did, including what he did. No, it was just that one time because BuzzFeed did it.
Talking about a bunch of people dying while eating cheese. They literally chose to die, isn't that tragedy? Eating cheese while talking about mass suicide, and people thought that was insensitive.
I love that someone like criticized him and even pointed out, and he's like, ugh, because he probably hates those people, to put it bluntly, because I think they were like religious extremists, and he hates religious people, as you heard from him earlier on, being like, well, I'm not a Christian, so why the fuck would I go to mass? You know, because he just hates like the idea of the people like that entirely, because that's just him. He's like the most spiteful, hateful person you will ever experience in your entire life. I'm sorry, I just can't believe it. I watched other bits of this live stream, and there's just a long segment where he got like chicken wings delivered, and he was just like slouched back with the chicken wing box like resting on his gun as he just ate it and kept like reaching over and like showing the chicken to the camera as if he just turned into Shantel. It's really weird. Suddenly he's doing like mukbangs on camera, and suddenly Chantel's talking about how much she loves books when he's talking about how he wants to work in a bookstore. So yeah, just a wee quick one. I know it's like 5 minutes per minute pretty much, so it wasn't overly quick. I rambled about more stuff than I thought I would, but I just thought I'd get something uploaded quickly, just chat about the Peetz situation. But bluntly, I think Peetz is honestly just such a pathetic person. It's kind of in such a way that it's barely even funny to laugh at. I remember I used to go in and make fun of Peetz and just say anything just to try and like rile him up because I thought it was funny, until I, like everyone else, realized, and everyone stopped trolling him, that I was just like, oh, he's so fucking boring. He has genuinely nothing going for him. And for him to come out and say, like, the reaction channels have nothing going for them and they need to go out and improve their lives and they need to go out and think of the actual things to think about and talk about and all. Try to remember, this is coming from a guy who is sitting in an old lady's house that is a friend of his mom on like super cheap rent because he can't do anything by himself. His only other option was to move back in with his mother at 40 years old because he has literally nothing going for him. He hasn't had a relationship, like, and I mean any form of relationship, even like a friendship, in probably like 20 years that did not involve Shantel. He is just pathetic. He is working like entry level jobs, you know, like a work at home call-in center thing that a lot of like younger people would do, and some older people certainly would do it too, if they just want like a nice chill job. Like, but he's doing this at like 40, and it's just too hard for him. And he has a laundry list of about 40 different types of jobs that he can't work at because they're just too difficult for him. And it's like, bro, maybe you shouldn't come on and try and flex your intellect and talk down to everyone like you know so much more than them, and everyone is so beneath you and so stupid compared to you, when you then say that you can't work in McDonald's because that job is just way too difficult for you. Like that is like a proper teenage entry level job. That is not something you should be saying at 40 years old with big brains, super smart, that it is too difficult for you to fucking work in McDonald's or to do anything manual labor at all, because to do a manual labor job it would require you to actually work out slightly. I remember just really upsetting him one time because he was just arguing, back before he got a job, and he was just arguing that there's literally no jobs for him to get, and the only job he wanted to get was to work in a library. And that was just his constant argument over and over again. And I made a point, you can get any job you really, really set your mind on. If you need to learn something for it, learn something for it. If you need a certain degree for it, work towards that degree for it. You can get any job you really want if you just really try and really work towards it. And he's like, nah, you can't. You can't. And I just told him, it's like, bro, I'm sorry. Like, he pretty much argued that you're kind of in one area of the job market your entire life and there's no movement. I argued to him. I said, bro, I remember one of my first jobs, like fucking working in cinema, cleaning, you know, and I've worked up to where I am now, and my job is fucking great. You know? I was like, you monkey branch. You work a little bit in one job, you do well in it, so much so they can give you a good reference because they think you're a good worker. Then you monkey branch to something better, then something better, then something better, then something better. But he's just like, nah. He got 15,000 in his inheritance. That was enough for him to survive on for a few months. So he just hits reset on his entire career and just goes, nah, I'm just quitting. I don't care. No notice. I don't care that they're going to like shit all over me in my reference. I don't care. I'm going to start again from step one in 2 months' time. Whatever. I don't care. And it's like, bro, maybe you should just like stuck it out for like an extra couple of weeks while you like look for a new job. I was like, nah, just didn't want to. It's like maybe this is the reason why you're not going anywhere. Maybe it's not the world that's a problem, Peetz. Maybe you are the problem if you're always stuck in exactly the same place for years and years and decades on end without any form of growth. Maybe you are the problem. Well, that's gonna be it, guys. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.